Havana Cricket Ground. Match 4, Luxembourg 29. Czech Republic against Belgium 0-1. It was Musayev. Okay. Keeper. So we got now 3.
So I know our viewers like to know the names of the teams, so just run down the Belgian team sheet. So Captain Sherry Butt, wicketkeeper Nemish Mehta, pushed out there for 1 run. Wicketkeeper Mesayeb, then Latif Usmani, Ekrami, Saber, Saeed, Munib Mohammed, Khalid Ahmadi, Sazad Hossein, Kunam Singh, Sharil Minta, and Razu Saklain. If you didn't get any of those names, just drop us a word on the chat, and we'll be happy to help you.
That's a beautiful shot. Just picked that up, hit it behind square on the leg side for 4 runs.
And Chief Umpire Ben Lockheed signalling forward there with a little bend in his knees. He really is at the pinnacle of his powers, a tremendous umpire, well respected in his own house, and magnificent representative of the Luxembourg cricket community.
Great shot that by Munib, 4 runs.
Two batsmen here in. We've got Mamoun Latif, who's currently at the non-strikers end, and Munid Mohammed, who just flicked that beautiful 4 over backward square for 4 runs.
So this first over being bowled by Honey Gori, and he's taken a wicket with it, and we'll expect Carl Gillam to bowl the second over here. Just end of that over there.
So end of the first over, and Belgium have moved on to 5 for 1 wicket.
Indeed, it does look like Carl Gillam is going to take the second over for the Czech Republic, Czechia. These 2 opening bowlers did fantastically well this morning, again in the Czechia's game against Luxembourg. After a poor display last night in the reverse fixture, Czechia played fantastically well to win out, and quite a lot of help due to the bowlers.
Can we have some help from the listeners now? Is it Czechia? Is it Czechia? Can I still say the Czech Republic? And I know last night I said Czechoslovakia. I'm not allowed to say that. But if you can just let me know, guys, is it Czechia, Czechia, or can we still say Czech Rep?
Start. Just played out. It's the offside by the left-hander.
Latif just
for a single.
Dabbed it down for 1, and that brings Munib Mohammed back onto strike. So thanks for the comments there. We will say the Czech Republic as per the request from the chat. So a big thanks to all of you who've helped us on that, and big thanks to Czech Cricket for encouraging us to say Czech Republic. We will try to remember that as we go through the match.
The up, but nicely fielded, and it's a dot ball.
I checked his shot a bit. He didn't really go through it. I think he knew he was going straight to fielder, so he just held back on that one. Just as well, it would have gone straight to extra cover. Thanks.
But it's going to fall safe, and they'll look for two, but settle just for the single.
Yeah, just chipped that over extra cover. A little bit of a pitching wedge shot, just stopped in the ground as it landed. And we've had a question over the chat. So the first wicket was bowled by Hani Guri, caught by the wicketkeeper. That's right, yes.
By the Czech bowlers. Reasonably tight lines. They'll look to restrict Belgium to as low a score as possible in this power play.
Yeah, it's good lines there from Carl. Teasing outside the off stump. And Munib Mohamed just letting that one go, bringing the Belgian team on to 8 runs for 1 wicket off 2 overs. And I've got a quick note from Vichy in the statisticians box, and he says that that's an average run rate of 4 runs and over. Having lost the wicket, probably not the start Belgium were after, but as we saw in the game with Luxembourg, Timmy, when they open their shoulders, they can really let go. They probably won't be too concerned about the score just at the moment.
Absolutely not. They've got some fantastic hitters further down the batting order, so they'll want to leave as many wickets in hand as possible, give them the platform, but nope, fantastic balanced start so far. Czech happy to take a wicket. And that's something that even in just the one and a little bit game that we've seen from Belgium so far, that you can really tell they are very good running between the wickets and keeping the scoreboard ticking over, which really is key in this format.
Another good ball from Hani Giri. He's dug it in. It's a good full length Yorker. Did well to keep it out. Another good length ball. Crikey, this is great bowling from Hani, isn't it?
Opening the bowling, but also opened the batting against Luxembourg in the first game of the day, and smashed a very quick 30-odd runs. A few lusty blows. I think it was 2 sixes off the first 2 balls of the innings.
Will he be taking the keeper's pads after his spell? That's what I'm asking myself. A deft fielding there from Wickramasinghe. Bit of a tongue twister.
fingers and Cyprus.
Camera, Tony, please. Yeah, that doesn't do anything.
And he's taken it. Good catch now for Pauline Gory.
So that sees the fall of. So that sees the fall of Mamoun Latif, caught out there in the deep, bowled by Haniveri and caught. We can't quite see the number of the fielder out there, but we'll try and get that view. So nice catch out at long off. Thank you very much from Czech Cricket. The good pronunciation is Wickramasacra. Thank you. I'll remember that.
Gillam start his second over here.
Usami comes to the wicket and he joins the game with Belgium at 10 for 2. Big appeal. And umpire gives it out.
Fantastic start this by Czech Republic.
Batsman Munib Mohammed didn't look very impressed by that appeal, but everyone else liked it. So he's on his way.
It's interesting, actually. Often you'll see batsmen have different peculiarities or things they do. Obviously, some people have trigger movements. The non-striker batsman here for Belgium, Osmani, has a very interesting approach, which is he only wears his batting gloves whilst batting. At all other points, running in between the wickets and non-striking, he chooses to carry his gloves in his other hand. An interesting approach.
Curious indeed, isn't it? I wonder if there's some old-time politesse rule that says a gentleman should take his gloves off at a certain time. Mikey, you're probably closer to that. Mikey says that's sort of unnecessary faff. But yeah, interesting to watch him. So my peculiarity was that I couldn't hit it off the square, but I wish I'd have taken my gloves off a bit more now.
So the new batsman at the crease now is Hossin. Wicket with his first ball this over, and that's nicely played. Beautiful cover drive there by Hossin. Nice introduction to the match.
So we have had a word from our consultant here in the studio, and apparently you are allowed to take your gloves off in polite company if you've been introduced. Unless, of course, you're talking to a lady. And as they push that one through for a cheeky single to square leg from Hossin. So gloves are going back on. Takes his guard. Really is quite curious, Tim, isn't it? I haven't seen this before at all.
Yeah. you'll see it actually is if they run a single now and he goes to the non-striker's end, he'll get to the non-strikers and then take them off.
At least he keeps his box in.
Oh, that's a good ball by Carl Gillam there. With a single there, and you'll see now as he moves to the non-striker's end, he should now.
Oh,
Oh,
intrigue here at the Pierre
he
Werner
must have
ground.
heard us.
Seems, in fact, and if I was a betting man, I'd have bet he'd have taken those gloves off. But no, Usmani's obviously had the word and he's kept them on.
And they'll come through.
Close one. So now the Belgian team moves on to 17 for 3 off 4 overs. So yes, they've stuck with their run rate of just a fraction over 4 runs and over, and it's not enough, is it, Tim?
It's not. It's a slow start, but as we said earlier, they have a lot of firepower down the order. But a fantastic start by the Czech Republic here. They've bowled really good lines and lengths and not given the Belgians much to play at.
They have not at all, and Czech team have certainly kept Belgium down.
Gory ups the wicket, bowls, just pushes it out into the offside, and they'll come through for a single.
Yeah, it looks like Belgium have probably started to feel the pressure. They said, right, we're not getting the boundary, so we need to make sure we get the ones in here. And it's good sharp running from the Belgians. I think the Czech team will probably be a bit disappointed it squirted off into the covers. They haven't been able to stop that. Now let's see if they can step it up a bit and start to walk in and attack this field a little bit.
Obviously, Captain Sherry Butt, that's a fantastic ball. Great Yorker that. Obviously, Sherry Butt top scored for the Belgians in the last game against Luxembourg, but they can't afford to rely on him here. So with 3 wickets down, they're going to need to get their heads down and start building a bit of a platform here.
No, certainly Sherry carried that in innings in the last half of the 20-over game, and frankly, in the form he was in, you'd expect him to do it again. But you're right, Tim. They shouldn't be counting on his contribution only.
Gets off strike.
Interesting positioning from Czech wicketkeeper Gajar, standing right in front of the wickets there. So obviously the play was somewhat dead, no chance of a run out, but
nice bit of bowling there. Dot ball.
Pushed into the covers crisply, straight to the cover for fielder, no runs. So now we still have Sazad Hossein on strike.
Big swing there with the bat, but didn't connect.
Belgium another slow over, have crawled on to 19 for 3 off 5. Now, that's less than 20 runs off the first 5 overs. At what point, Timmy, are they going to say something's not quite right here, boys? We need to give it some boot.
I think they're going to have to go soon. I mean, obviously, as we always say, 20 overs is a lot longer than some people make it out to be, but that is below four and over. And at some point, you do have to hit the accelerator, and you do feel it might be soon. I mean, they may be hoping to see out these 2 openers and then hit the accelerator hard, but if you keep losing wickets like they have, that's not a great tactic.
Yeah, obviously there's the power play that we have to consider, and we're obviously one over away from the end of the power play. And Belgium will want to see out this over without the loss of another wicket. But they are not the crisp batting team that we saw in the last match, are they?
Certainly not. It's been some very good bowling by these 2 opening bowlers for Czech Republic. Honeygory bowling really nice lines, really giving some problems to all of the Belgian batsmen they've faced. And Kyle Gillam just putting in some really, really good corridors.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens when these 2 have finished their 4, if they bowl through their 4, of course. Slight misfield there at mid-on by skipper Ed Knowles, but didn't cost them a run. Sazak Hossein on strike. Carl Gillingham coming into bowl.
Long on, back on the boundary.
Which means that the 3rd man has had to come up into the circle. And if I look around, there's only one person outside the circle. That's long on. So confident they are.
If you're the Czech Republic, you are really disappointed they got a single there. Because that went pretty directly to the square leg fielder.
Always beating the outside edge. That was a beautiful line. And being the left-hander, he's come across him on his off stump and playing a miss, went through to the keeper. Very lucky not to be out to that one.
It really is great bowling from these 2 so far. Nicely turned off the hip there by Usmani.
Running down the hill. Good relay through there from the Czech team, and a good strong throw in over the top of the stumps. And Belgium come back for 2 runs. Another good line again, a little bit straighter. Usmani had to defend his stumps there, just pushes it out to a cover.
So 23 for 3 after 6. That's the end of the power play. And you've got to say, power play goes to the Czech Republic, really. That's a fantastic start to their fielding innings.
Yes, you would, Tim. It's been a really strong bowling performance by this left-hand, right-handed opening bowler pair, and Czech Republic really have their foot on the Belgium team's throat at the moment.
It looks like they want to continue that, so they're going to bowl Honeygory through. The bowl is 4th over here. Been very lucky with the weather today. Unlike last night, we haven't really seen any rain. And That's going to be a wide.
I think it's a good decision to keep Honey on, actually. Honey Glory's been bowling tremendously well. I think that Czech have realised that they've really got the Belgians on the rope here, and they don't want to give anything away. Obviously, they're not going to be able to use him bowling in the death, which is going to be, it's going to be a challenge. But I think they've decided to go for that advantage they've got now. Squirted it away to backward square leg. It's a good stop.
And they'll take 2 runs.
Good chase and stop out in the deep by Arun Ashokan for the Czech Republic.
And that is hoiked away for 4 runs.
Full toss on leg stump, and Sazad Hossein gave it exactly what it deserved. Full mango, 2 bounces over the boundary rope and 4 runs.
I think I can see the chairman of the Luxembourg Cricket Federation walking around the boundary rope over there. It's been such a shame that if it wasn't for COVID, I'm sure we'd have a lot more people able to come down and spectate this fantastic tournament. But as it is, of course, we're only able to house a few spectators and abiding by all required COVID restrictions.
So it does look like the Belgium team are working hard to see out this opening attack which has frankly been a marvel to watch. No runs, but a bit of a wild throw comes in there from cover. They've come through for the overthrow, and yeah, it's a lot of pointing and teapotting, but only 1 run in the end as a result of that. And we're coming into the end of Honeyberry's spell. It's been a good spell. A lot of talk from the Czech team. You can always tell when a team feels they're on top.
Why not?
Big wide ball there. Beat the outstretched hand of the wicketkeeper. He got a hand to it, but not enough to stop it. Looked a bit like Peter Bonetti in his pomp.
Just batted back that time. But it's been a better over this for Belgium. Couple of wides and a boundary. But they're going to need a lot more than that, you feel?
He's had a go at that one. He's given it the kitchen sink. Big fat inside edge. And it's squirted away for a boundary 4 to backward square leg. So after 7 overs, Belgium has moved on to 27 for 3. Has moved on to 37 for 3.
Looks like Carl Gillam's going to finish his 4-over spell as well.
Pretty gutsy choice here from the Czech skipper Ed Knowles. He's keeping his 2 opening bowlers on. It's a gambit. He's obviously squeezing these Belgian a Belgian batsman, and he wants to keep the pressure on. But of course, he's not going to be able to use these bowlers at the death. So he'll have to rely on his first and second change bowlers to carry the water in the second half of the innings.
Nicely played out there, and they'll come through for a single. Right now, with the sun coming down nicely onto it, the ground here, the Pierre Van der Creek ground, is really starting to look a picture, and the outfield is lightning fast.
Gillam into Hossein. Hossein chips it out to mid-on. Throw comes in, fielded by the bowler, and that's 1 run. Brings Usmani onto strike. These two have been together for a few overs now, so they're starting to build a bit of a partnership. Runs haven't flowed that much, but you just hope for Belgium that they can start to build up a bit of a partnership and start to get the scoreboard ticking over a bit more than they have done already.
It would be a bit of a shame if they were to build this foundation and then throw it away with a really poor wicket. You'd want really to go on from here.
Yeah, you'd expect to see one of these batsmen anchor the innings through to the end. And we all know that Belgium have got those big hitters in the middle order who can come and take the game away from any bowling attack. But the truth is, the longer Czech Republic can keep these two in, scoring at 4 runs a ball, the better it's looking for Czech Republic. LBW appeal there.
That's a very exuberant appeal there by Kyle Gillam.
Shake of the head from the umpire. Looked a bit high to me, Tim. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. On this track, it's very bouncy, and quite often, if it is going to be missing the stumps, it's going to be on height.
Also, it's a left-hander to a right-hander, so he's got to really pitch it in line and straighten it. There's a lot got to be happening to get that decision. It's a good shout, though, and keep the pressure on the batsman. They did run through for a leg bye. Score moves on to 41. Chip.
It's going to be a run out, and there is. And that's exactly what we talked about not that long ago. They've been trying to build a partnership, trying to build a foundation, but they've thrown all that work away there, I'm afraid.
That is absolute rubbish batting. You chip the ball straight to the fielder. What are you doing? You know you've hit it there. I don't get it, Tim. I don't get it.
No.
Rush of blood. They think, oh, it's a drop. We can go for something.
Never run on a misfield. That's what they say. Skipper Sherry Butt comes to the middle. Absolutely blasted the ball for several huge sixes in the game earlier today against Luxembourg. And I think he's going to need to do a little bit of the same here.
Got a very quick 80 off about 50 balls in the previous game. And Belgium will be expecting him to do the same again. He's a big fellow with long arms. And when he hits that ball, it stays hit. We've seen a bowling change here for the Czech Republic, and coming on at the Fitzgerald Bridge ends is Vikramasekara. Over his head.
Might be called a wide, that one, and it is.
That's it's been called the one over the shoulder height.
One over shoulder height for the over.
With a little flex in the knees there from umpire Ben Lockheed. Isn't he a magnificent umpire?
He is. Very important bend of the knees. Oh, that's
It's a lot of interest from Vikramasekara. Big shout also from the wicketkeeper Gajar. Not so much interest from star umpire Ben Lockheed. So skipper Sherry Butt lives to fight another day. Ooh! It's a good question, Tim. I think obviously the benefits of the Belgian team is they've got a good bit of black, which is very slimming. I've always found black is useful, and I think the orange and yellow combination is quite eye-catching. On the other hand, that Czech team is very classic, isn't it? The red, white, and blue classic puts you in mind a little bit of the Luxembourgish colours, puts you in mind a bit of one of the England teams team kits of a few years back. So I think I'd probably go for the Belgium team just for the slimming effect, but that's more a function of my age and weight than anything else. Yeah, that's a bouncy pitch we've got there. So it just took off as it pitched. And at the end of the over, Belgium moves on to 47 for 4 off 9 overs.
So you really feel here that at least one of these batsmen is really going to have to get their eye in for a few more, couple of overs more maybe, and then they're really going to have to let loose, because at the moment this run rate is still very low and they're at the same time losing regular wickets. So something's going to have to give.
Well, we saw Sherry Butt in the previous game against Luxembourg. He didn't kick off immediately, did he? He didn't go straight for it. He gave himself a couple of sighters. I reckon we'll probably see him have a look for another over or two more. And then when we get to overs 11 and 12, then I think we'll see Butt start to kick off.
That 6 that he hit in that earlier game that hit the road, may even have hit a car. I think that's one of the longest 6s I've seen on this ground.
Yeah, I was chatting to the groundsman, and he told me that wickets to the boundary rope is just a little bit less than 80 meters. And then I would say there's another 15 to 20 meters onto the car. So it's very nearly 100-meter clearance, which is a huge, huge shot.
Bowling change here at the pavilion end. Menden replacing Carl Gillam to bowl the 10th over. Menden.
Nice shot there, just digging the other leg stump Yorker out, squirting it out to square leg. Square leg feels a little bit frustrated with him, so that looks like Honeyberry, a little bit frustrated with himself. He didn't field that cleanly and challenge the other batsman, but they come through for one all the same. Wrong throw in there, and Belgium scamper through for 2.
Field spread a lot more now for the Czechs. Now you realise that Sherry Butt is on strike. They obviously saw him in that game earlier. What can he do? Menden up to the wicket bowls, and that is a good ball. And the keeper standing up here. It's a wide. But keeper standing up takes it well.
He must have been batting really quite wide there, because the ball passed over his top edge, and it was still called a wide. Oh, slow ball. Nicely bowled up into the block hole. He's managed to chip it down to mid-off for 1. So, end of the 10th over. Belgium moves to 54 for 10. For 4, I beg your pardon.
Break here, which gives us a chance to thank our sponsors again. So JTC, Redbridge Recruitment,
The best headhunter in Luxembourg,
Talisman, Tumar, and the tournament brought to you by the ICC and Ministry of Sport for Luxembourg.
And a big thanks, shout out to the Commune de Volfedange, who do so much to let us play here in this wonderful Pierre Werner Oval in Luxembourg.
And of course, a thank you to New Delhi Restaurant for providing the catering this afternoon. Some fantastic curry on offer.
Country team has availed themselves to, as you might imagine.
That's a lovely shot there by Sherry Butt. I think he's going to start opening up. Had enough of this singles.
Smacked the leather off that one. Beautiful square cut just behind square. Went like a bullet out of a gun. Watch out, Checky. Here it comes. Hurricane Salmon is on its way.
trouble the batsman, but it's landed safe.
Got a bit big on him, didn't it? Just sort of climbed up a bit, as this pitch can do. There's a bit of extra bounce if you put your back into it here at the Pierre Werner Oval, and that's what he did. So almost surprising. Belgian captain Sherry Butt. He's living a charmed life. That was a big, thick, fat old inside edge. Could have gone anywhere. He's obviously not feeling in as good a form as he was against Luxembourg a couple of hours ago.
The over 64 for 4 after 11. Now, they usually say double what you've got at 12. So Belgium will be
30.
looking for 100, 150 maybe they'll be really pushing for if they can get a few big shots away.
You know, Timmy, in the last third of the Belgian innings against Luxembourg, this guy, Sherry Butt, was scoring at 20 runs and over. Anything could happen. Wow, look at that.
That's one bounce 4, is it?
Wasn't even that short a ball. He just rocked back and swished it through the leg side in front of square, hit it like a Napier. And that was just, that ball went so fast. Such a shot.
That.
Fetch that.
After that that flashing 4.
And next.
So nice batting there. Gave himself a bit of room. Just played it out into the offside for a single.
A cheeky little dab down to third man there brings Sherry Butt back onto strike.
That's going to be 6 runs. Yep. That is a 6 over cover. I think Sherry Butt is about to tee off.
That
big way.
Carried a mighty long way again. A mighty long way to clear this extra cover boundary on the full. Scattered the players in the Luxembourg team tent, much to the joy of the Belgium team next to them. We slapped that as a square cut out to they're looking for 2. They're looking for 2. No, they've thought better of it. It's a strong throw in, not especially straight, but enough to put the batsman off going for that second run. Keshal Kumar Menden comes in, bowls it.
Oh, and he's put him down.
It's gone straight to the cover point fielder.
Hossein put down. Shelled by Wickramasacre.
He's going to be kicking himself, isn't he? Because that was straight to him. He had time to get his hands together above his head, and it just went straight through. I think the bowler, captain, and Wickramasacre are going to be very disappointed on that one. So he's coming on to bowl now to continue his stint from the Fitzgerald Bridge end.
Seems that the Czech Republic aren't a team for mixing up their bowling, giving little 1 or 2 over spells. They seem to really want to just bowl them through here.
It does look like they got a plan and they're sticking to it, isn't it? So Sazad Hossein on strike. Wickramasacre coming in from the Fitzgerald Bridge end.
So the score is 80 for 4. Was 79 for 4 at the end of the last over. Moved on to 80 now. Czech Republic will be looking for another wicket here. But that's been nicely played. I mean, he's not got that off the middle, but that has raced away to the boundary.
Nothing more than a thick inside edge. Flew to the boundary. Had a shy of the stumps. It looks like Hossein had got back in time, but still, it's a good sharp throw from the Czech fielder Kyle Gillum. Just keeping the Belgian batsmen on their toes. He's had a big swish at that. Hasn't been called a wide by Luxembourg's premier umpire Ben Lockheed. Being a bit mean with his crisps today, it would seem. But still, it's been suggested that the umpire's job is to count to 6 and say not out. So he's doing a good job if you think of it like that.
Well,
Belgium move on to 86 for 4 off 13 overs. Good, solid start. Only 4 wickets down. 86 runs on the board. I would say this is a good platform for Belgium to kick off, especially with the batsmen they have at the crease at the moment.
Yes. Yeah.
And we still, of course, have the big hitting Zakil Saber, who played a very fine cameo role, hitting 27 off 11 balls in the previous match against Luxembourg. So plenty of batting to come here for the Belgium team.
Spin for the Czech Republic, and it's going to be there, and just a single to start.
Lots of things going on here in the first few balls of Surya Rangarajan's first over. Interesting inclusion of slow right arm bowling into the attack. We've seen only medium pace seam up until now, and obviously part of the Czech plan to introduce spin at this point in the innings.
Back on strike now. See what happens here. And that is a fantastic shot there. And well fielded there. That's a great bit of fielding by the Czech team. But they'll come back for 3 runs.
More chat now in the field from the Czech team. They went a bit quiet for a while, and now they're back on it. Hossin pulls away. There was a bit of confusion as to how many balls were left. Oh, and he's launched that. That's come
Coming
bouncing
our way.
down towards
Should be cut off. It is. And they'll just take the single.
Sungir Rangarajan.
Huge shot.
A commentator's curse.
That's hit the Wendy house. Big 6 there by Sherry Butt. And we've seen this before.
We certainly have, Timmy, haven't we? I think the question is how long he stays in. Go ahead.
He's 7 for 4 now, Belgium, after 12 overs. 14 overs, rather. Six overs to spare. If they were to go at 10 and over, they'll be getting on towards the 150 mark. So I think they'll probably be looking for 160.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that if Sherry Butt stays in, they will keep going at 15 runs and over. So I'm expecting them to add another 90 runs. So my estimate would be a little bit higher than yours, Tim. But of course, we have to see what happens. Does Sherry Butts stay in? If he does, that scoreboard's definitely going to keep on clicking over. If he doesn't, well, that's another story.
I think Hostin as well has been doing a good job of anchoring this innings. They lost a few wickets early on and at a rate of knots, but they've clawed this back well, the Belgians. That's there's an appeal for obstructing the field from the boundary, but that's fallen on deaf ears.
I feel a little bit disappointed with modern cricket that's an appeal. I feel like we've lost the plot.
Facing the other way, not really much you could do about that. That is another massive shot there for 4.
Maced that through backward point. One bounce. Fantastic shot. Sherry Butt plays shots all around the ground. He plays the cut. He plays the cover drive. He plays the straight drive. He is fantastic.
Shot the 100 up for Belgium.
A one bounce 4 into the extra cover boundary.
You'd say that we're starting to run out of superlatives here. This is a fantastic display of hitting by the Belgian captain here.
He seems to strike the ball at will. As I was saying, to all parts of the ground, behind square, in front of square, the off square, the offside, the onside. He is peerless in this tournament.
Wide ball by Wickramasacre. Absolutely monstered. And once again, I think that's hit the road, but come back. Huge 6. And I think that's another 50.
I think it's hit the hubcaps of that car out there. My car is one car in front, thankfully.
I think that was 50 for Sherry Butt. I'm looking to the scorers to confirm. So 27 ball 50, 5 4s and 3 6s. Definitely the in-form batsman of the tournament. Great bit of fielding there.
Fantastic piece of fielding from Czech Arengarajan. Super diving stop to his right. Brilliant. That moves Belgium on to 115 15 for 4 after 15 overs. And here on this wonderful day at the Pierre Werner Over in Wolfendange, I will hand over the microphone to Richard Neal.
So sanitizer break, 15 overs down. And I'm joined in the commentary box by Richard Neal. Afternoon, Richard.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
There for the Czech Republic, and it's a stumping